Alrighty, everyone. So, welcome to Thursday Trade Review. Please submit your trades for next week's trade review. If you had a green trade, a red trade, a break-even trade, or you don't even know what you did on it, just DM me, Jason Trades, and I will review it for next week's trade review. So, today we're going to go over two shorts and one long. One short I made 40,000 on. One short I lost about 1,000 on. Then one long I made about 2,500 on. So those are three trades I'm going to showcase this morning. Recorded all of them. So we're going to start with worst to best, losing trade, and then go to the best. So first one is yeah is CXAI. I was looking at shorting it. The reason I liked the short was it was the day after its monstrous run. It had a lackluster of volume, only had 7 million shares of volume compared to the day prior, where it had 150 million, and it was starting to gap a little bit higher, trying to do a dead cat bounce. I also liked it because it had three consecutive 5-minute pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame, presenting a good short opportunity. I also liked it because it broke a below VWAP and then had a nice pop to the upside for a short entry for a continuation play lower into market close. Now, this is at around 3 p.m., so it was getting closer to market close. I don't like holding much things into close, but in this case, I did. Now, what ended up happening was I started my short. You can see it was 2,000 shares or 1,000 shares. Every time it broke below 1150, I started my short. Now, my price targets on this one was uh, 11, 1075, and 1050. Unfortunately, after hours, if I just held for another hour, it ended up hitting 11, 1075, 1050. I would have made 5 or 10 grand on it. In this example, I lost on it because I had to stick to my risk to reward ratios. It started to gap higher off of a slight increase in volume, breaking out of a wedge. So I said, you know what? I have to stick to my ratios. My average at one point was 11.35. You'll be able to see. And if I was looking at making 60 to 75 cents a share, my stop loss had to be around 30 cents a share, just having 2-to-1 risk to reward ratios. So as it gapped higher, I did add as it broke below VWAP. Looked at some cars. While I was shorting, for increased motivation, more Lambos, McLarens, and Ferraris I look at. The better the trade turns out. It's a proven fact. So breaks below VWAP, and 1120, and you can see right now I'm up at one point like $700. And a lot of you guys are like, well, why didn't you start to take profit at 1125? That was my first. That wasn't my first price target. Okay, if I took profit at 1125, I would now be having poor risk to reward ratios, because if my average is 1150, my stop loss is 1175. I need to have at least a 2-to-1 ratio, in my opinion. So my first price target was 11. I was still holding full position. Now what ended up happening was it actually just continued higher. It was getting rejected by VWAP a bunch, but off of light volume, and then it just started to gap higher. And at this point, it started to break out. It's kind of wedging out in the 5-minute time frame, and I stopped out for about an $870 loss, about $1,000 loss. So that was this trade, and I held it for about a half an hour. Reason I liked this trade was, in my opinion, it was a really good setup. I don't think I did anything really necessarily bad on it, because right after this pop, it literally got rejected by that breakout level at 1175. It came crashing down to 1075, 1050, and 11, like literally all my price targets. And so which kind of is unfortunate. You guys are saying top. Um, Yeah, I'm not going to trade it, guys. Good luck if you are trading it. Just a little choppy for my liking. I'm sure the choppiness would clear up now that it's starting to break out well, but this isn't something I necessarily would want to trade. Um, Now, continuing on to the next setup. Does anyone have any questions as to why I like that short play? I like showing the winners and the losers. I honestly think I did everything right. There are some instances where it could be a really good setup, and you did everything right, and you still lost on it. I think that was just one of those examples. Now, this example was PRST pre-market with the pre-market squad that I traded with them on Monday. This was a good trade. This was a higher float stock, 30 million shares with lighter volume, so I didn't love it, but it gave me the move I was looking for. Um, so my main goal was this was the 1 minute time frame. The 5 minute time frame was having its first 5 minute pullback. Um, and where I like to place my dip buy entries are on the 9 EMA, especially when there's hammer candles in the 1 minute time frame showing it's more likely going to bounce. Um, down about 600. Really, my stop loss was below this level here, the 9 EMA. Still down. Now, what I was looking for was a retest of $3. It's at 297 at this moment. High day 305, which is great. I love pairing it with psychological breakouts. So adding off of the $3 push, we're moving to 310. So added at 3 right here for the break, sized up for the break. Decent buyers on the level 2 came in. 310 first price target. Why is that? Because this is a cheaper stock. It's a $3 stock. So my average was 290. 310 was my first PT, not 325. It's way too aggressive. Your first price target should be within 10%, not over 10%. So I took a little profit right there at 310. Right there is technically 310. So then what ended up happening was I hit 325, which was my last price target. I locked in profit, and then I had another 1 minute pullback below 325, retesting 315. I added off of that level, 320 level, same curl aspect for push higher up to 335. Now this is what my price target was 350, the half dollar. However, one thing I will tell you is the reason I sold early is it started to lag out. It didn't continue much higher, and some big sellers came in. And if you see that happening, to where it just keeps having to retest that breakout level, it's not holding, especially when you have a new 1 minute candle like that stalling out, you should start to take some profit. It's clearly not breaking out off the first try. Now, my last trade, one you guys have been waiting for, PTPI, my best short trade ever. Period. Now I'm gonna do this. The reason why this is such a good trade is because the night before, it's not fully edited. Um, so I have to show it in my editing software here. So I know it's gonna be a little bit harder to see, but this was the night before PRSC or PTPI made the move I was looking for, and I went over why I liked it several times, so I don't feel the need to continue to go over it. It was a picture perfect setup on all time frames, and this video will come out, and I could I'll attach it at the end of this video that I'm shooting right now for you guys to be able to watch. But it was basically a volume play. It looked good on the 6 month time frame due to the Elliott wave theory. It was good on the intraday time frame because of false breakouts. Everything looked good. Everything. And so I said, guys, I'm going to wait. And you'll be able to watch the video and hear me say this. I'm going to wait for a gap up to 7 within the first 5 minutes of market open to place my short entry. Why did I wait for that? Well, 9 times out of 10, short opportunities give you a nice pop to the upside to add to your short. It's just classic regression wave, Elliott theory type stuff. That's exactly what I was looking for. It happened, and I crushed my short. I crushed the short button at 7, and then it got halted going down shortly after. So a lot of other traders had the same idea. And what ended up happening, what sucks is the next morning when I'm trying to trade this thing, my freaking face cam got in the way of my P&L like an idiot. So I can't even really post it anywhere. So you can see at tap 7, I was kind of crapping my pants a little bit. I had a 20,000 share short position at over $7. And right here where it pulled on back and gapped back above and it broke 7, I was nervous. I'll be honest. And another thing is you should never really short more than 1% of the overall volume. And you can see that this had 1 million shares of volume. And I had 2% of all the volume in a short. That is not a good idea, generally speaking. But this was picture perfect setup, so I sized up. And I got halted going down, which I was very happy with. And then just basically continued lower throughout the rest of the day. And I didn't lock in any profit in this range. Just continued to bleed, continued to bleed, continued to bleed. I was just holding. It continued to decrease in volume, and generally a decrease in volume leads to a decrease in price. So I held all day till after hours, hit my price targets, and then the next morning it gapped down to 380. So from 7 down to 5 down to 380, really, really good trade, which led me to make over 40. Just for reference, PRST and this trade were the same day. So I didn't make 40 grand on just PTPI. I actually ended PRST with about 5. So PTPI wasn't all. It wasn't all PTPI. So that's it. Those are the trades I took last week. Now that I have, how many trading days do I have left? This could be. I have 3 trading. No, 1. Tomorrow's my last trading day. Other than today, and I mean, I'm close to that 6-figure mark. I'm not going to hit it more than likely. But this is definitely going to go down as top 5 trading months for me of all time. I think top 5. I think it's 5th. So as long as I don't blow it today and tomorrow, it was a really good month for me, and honestly, it came in perfect timing. I made more in April than I did combined January, February, and March. And if you add December, I think probably December too. In December I had some good wins too. So just know that that's generally what happens. There's 3 or 4 months out of the year where you just absolutely crush it. 20% of your trading time leads to probably 80% of your revenue. Super blessed with this month. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't have been a better time because I was a little bit discouraged. Because as a trader, you want to always outdo the year prior, and I get that's not going to happen every year. But I was like, dude, like, what am I doing wrong? I'm as an 18 and 19-year-old kid, I was making more money trading than I am as a 21-year-old man. Like, I don't get it. I have like so many more years of experience now. I feel as a far better trader than when I was 17, 18, 19. And I'm like, the heck, man. And I had first quarter was rough. It was, I was green, but barely. Just super choppy month. But then this month came around and definitely was blessed with almost a 6-figure month. So that's going to put me on track. Excited to pursue $1 million in trading profits in 1 year. I think I could definitely hit it this year if I just keep up the momentum, keep trading the way I have been. Um, just keep sizing up with picture perfect opportunities and short, short, short. If I didn't know how to short, my monthly profits would be cut in half. So I doubled my income this month just from learning shorting. About $50,000. That's pretty good, if you ask me. So 50K in a month just from shorting, I'll take it. Um, Happy with it. But alrighty, team. That's gonna do it for me. I will catch you. Whoa, big buyer there on PRST. I don't know if you guys caught that. Yeah, it's gonna get halted again. Try to buy in that halt if you can. Too late. Wow, this thing is going, it's just ripping like crazy. There's a $2 million, there's $3 million of buying pressure right there at 293. Yeah, this is gonna gap much higher. Anyone in this halt? A big buyer stepped in at 250. It was like a $1 million, and that just forced it all the way up. Now it's gonna open at 15. Japers.